Good morning. This is a message to my fellow North Americans all across Canada and the US. This message this morning is very difficult to deliver. However, it must be done. Firstly, I want to apologize that during these war times that you have such incompetent leaders in office. Leaders that are acting on emotion and acting irrationally, leaders that are not prepared and are not preparing their people, leaders that are calling the bluff of a military superpower that at this point doesn't seem to have a strong moral compass. These leaders are not only incompetent and unprepared, but they are failing to do what it is they're supposed to do, and that is lead their country and to prepare their people. So I apologize for this. Next, I want to give you a few tips on how you can be better prepared for these war times. One of the measures that I want you to consider is where you are geographically placed on the map. And you should consider that very carefully. And if you are in a position to relocate, if you are in a hot zone, as I would call it, then please do so. So the areas to stay away from are capital cities, like major capital cities, such as Canada's capital, but also major capital cities such as provincial capitals. And this goes for the US as well. Major cities. Also military towns. Now, I know that there's a false sense of security when you're in a military town because there's a military base there. And the soldiers in the army are supposed to protect us, right? Well, I want you to consider the most likelihood of a bomb dropping there. If you want to consider the strategies of war, and when a bomb is dropped, the most impact it's going to do are on the most heavily populated areas and also the military bases. So I want you to consider getting as far away from these places as possible. Away from the larger cities, heavily populated areas, away from the capital cities, away from the military bases. For your own protection, please do this now. If people have any kind of storm cellar or old-fashioned bomb shelter or whatever, please consider stocking it with food storage and the necessary provisions. Of course, the perishable food item that lasts the longest are canned foods, so be prepared with this. And of course, you'll need water and essentials, survival essentials. So whatever you can come up with that you need in a crisis, stock up now. This is not a joke. This is not something to be taken lightly. This is something to be taken definitely seriously. The leaders of North America have gotten complacent, reckless, and irresponsible, and they have failed utterly to prepare their people for this. They have gotten so complacent, it's remarkable. So please consider taking these provisions to protect you and your family. Get away from major cities, heavy populated areas, capital cities. Please lose that false sense of security of being in a military-based town because they are your targets. The military bases are the targets as well. Consider taking these measures today to protect your family.